back to An American Homestead, podcasting live from deep within the Ozark Mountains at an elevation of 2,200 feet. It's 9 p.m. Central and 10 Eastern, and it's good to be back. With me as always is Jamie, and we have a full stack of stuff tonight to talk about. Yeah, we got a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. The world is just going nuts. You've probably all seen the riots in Charlotte for the fourth night in a row. The National Guard is on the streets out there, and I was listening to Deep South Homestead before we got on here, and they're just beside themselves, just like we all are, at just the state of the world today, and it all going down the tubes. Just a lot going on out there, a lot of bad news going on out there for just in all kinds of different areas, the economy, and so it makes homesteaders like ourselves appreciate what we have and make sure that we have that stuff in the future, and so we prepare and we plan. So anyway, getting into all of that, I don't want to dwell on the election and politics. I don't want to dwell on, the riots in Charlotte and the state of our economy. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And eventually, sometimes maybe we'll get into that stuff. But it can get depressing, and people don't like talking about religion and politics. It's just one thing. Some of the things people don't like to talk about usually. There's channels for that out there, but
you like to talk about them.
Well, I know, but I just have to know my audience, and sometimes, we're a homesteading channel here, and I do like to talk about it, and I get very passionate at times on some of those things, but that's not what we're here tonight for. So anyway, I want to give a big plug out to the Homestead Network. You can visit their website, thehomesteadnetwork.com. You can see all kinds of great homesteading channels. Deep South let us in tonight. We'll listen to Big Bear before that. And I had some great topics and conversations on there. You can find more at thehomesteadnetwork.com and going to their show times and seeing all of the list of homestead channels that are out there and going down the list and checking them out, all their YouTube channels, and see when they do their live streams and subscribe to their channels and check out their videos and other content that they have if you like. So always give them a good plug. So what did we do last week?
He knows it's my least favorite question.
It's just, there's just lots of stuff we do, and it's hard to remember. It's hard to go back and go, oh, because you're tired, and you're like, what did I do last week? I don't even remember what I did yesterday.
I'm working on making a double sleeping bag.
Oh, what's that about?
Well, we're going camping in the fall, and Zach and I have always wanted a double sleeping bag. It helps you stay warmer. And
Yep.
So I had some old flannel, not old, I had just never used it, and some older blankets and comforter. So I thought I'd make a double sleeping bag. I'm lining it with the flannel, lining the blankets with the flannel, and then sewing them together.
Right. And this is the time of year. We have some camping topics to talk about tonight. I have some things I want to show you just to get your opinion on. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, camping is coming up. This is the time of year where it's great to go camping and get out there in nature and just enjoy the weather. I love it when it gets cooler. We're just about ready for the bugs to die.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of the flies. I killed, how many did we kill this morning
I got up
in
and
the house?
Normally, I'm not the guy who runs around with the fly swatter. I just think it's ridiculous, and I'd rather put up fly strips and have them do the work for me. But
he
today,
hates killing the flies.
this morning, it was so bad. And because we barbecued last night, and we had some guests over for dinner, and
the kids were in and out.
Yeah, and so the flies got in the house. And I woke up this morning, and I'm like, there was just flies everywhere. And there was one particular that just would not leave me alone. And I'm like, all right, that's it. Where's the fly swatter? And I searched out the fly swatter, and I went to work, and I killed about a dozen of them. And that's a lot for me. But has everyone?
I killed about 24 more after I got started.
Yeah, she went to town too. So it was bad, and we're just ready for the bugs to die. But have you seen that new fly swatter gun, or it's the fly shotgun? I think I showed you, didn't I?
You told me about it.
Okay, so I did. This was not planned for the show, but let me Google this real quick. Fly.
Zach wants one so bad.
Yeah, I want one of these. These are really cool. Okay, so it's called a bug assault. The bug assault. So bug assault, because it's a shotgun that shoots salt at flies So it's safe, it doesn't hurt, it can't hurt anybody, and it's okay, you're just throwing salt around your house a little bit.
Unless you get shot in the eye.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot in the eye with it probably. But it's okay if you do, because your eye is made of salt.
Well,
your tears are salty, and
hurt a
so
little bit.
it would, there's not enough power to really hurt anyone with this. So, guys, if you're interested, go check out the Bug Assault Fly Shotgun. This is awesome. And so I first saw this, and I'm like, okay, this has just got to be a novelty. It can't be that great. And then I looked at the reviews. Folks, the reviews on this salt shotgun are awesome. People love it, and they say it works. And so it's not a novelty. It's not some gimmick. It works, and it works well. And the reviews, you look up the reviews on Amazon and other places where this thing is sold, and the reviews give it flying colors. So I'd really like to get that gun. I mean, I like guns anyway, but I want that gun.
I know. We'll think about it for next year.
We'll
the
see.
claws are getting ready to die.
Yeah,
so.
we're almost done with the year. So yeah, fall is coming, so that's good. Let's see, I worked on the sawmill this week. I got half the roof on. Woohoo! Half the roof is on, and that's very exciting. And I'm going to finish up the rest of the roof probably maybe tomorrow. Once I got it going, it was really easy to get up there. It was just, I couldn't work during the day because the sun is beating down on you, so I could only do a few sheets. But now I'm on the north side of the roof. And tomorrow it's supposed to rain and be cloudy the rest of the day. So if it rains in the morning, I can get out there and probably finish up the rest in the afternoon. Let's see, we got the latest creation crate in the mail for the Homestead playlist, our homeschool playlist on our Homestead channel. And it came with the wrong instruction manual. And so I called the company, and they're sending us out a new one. That was kind of discouraging. Joshua was not happy. He opened up his creation crate, very eager to get started on it. He'd been asking about it all week. When's it going to get here? When's it going to get here?
The anticipation.
And when it got here, they sent the wrong instruction manual with the new creation crate. So they're sending a new one. Hopefully that'll be here soon. We'll get a video up for you. I know there's a lot of people out there. Plus, we're giving one away. We have 3 giveaways we're doing. I might as well go ahead and just talk about this now. We're giving away a creation crate coming up soon. We're giving away, let's see, where's it at? The Angel Fire 223 Prepper Pack. It's 100 rounds of 5.56 223 ammo from Angel Fire and Patriot Ammo Outfitters. We're going to be giving that away soon. And also, Suwaki sent us a new solar light. And Jamie's been using it probably for a week, right?
Yeah, there's some things I like about it. There's some things I don't like about it.
You just don't like at night because it's so bright. You have to put it in a drawer so you can sleep.
Well, there's no way to turn it off. Like, I wish there was a switch to turn it off.
Well, I read in the instructions. It says there is. I just haven't read through the instructions to figure out how to do so.
Well, you have to stick a paper clip in that little tiny hole to turn it off. That's a switch.
But it's definitely brighter than any other light that we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it for putting next to the counter, doing dishes.
Yeah, it's so far I like it. She's a very light sleeper, and so
I love the lantern light. You know what? I don't even care if we ever have electric light again, because I love the lantern light. Put an electric light in my face when it's dark outside, and it hurts my eyes. I just don't like it. So I'm not trying to complain about the little light giveaway. There are things I like, things I don't.
Yeah. If you're used to the electric light, though, this is probably the brightest one we've ever experimented with. The solar is really well. It's got a pretty good sized solar panel on it, and we'll do a review on it. And we're gonna give one away. So we're giving one away probably when we do the review. We'll give one away for Suwaki. So we got a creation crate, the Angel Fire 5.56 ammo, 100 rounds of 5.56 ammo, and folks, we will be doing firearms giveaways in the future, no doubt about it. And Suwaki solar light. We're giving that all the way here pretty soon, so stay tuned. If you want to be considered for the giveaway, how you register is free. Just send me an email on anamericanhomestead.com. Go to the contact page and put giveaway all one word, giveaway, in the subject line so that it'll go directly to the giveaway inbox, and I'll have it there for future reference. And folks, I will not spam you, I promise. I don't spam people. I don't like it when people spam me. I won't spam you. You'll probably get 2 emails per year from me, if that. Moving on. Let's see what else. Oh, we got notified that tonight there is a miniature Jersey dairy cow for sale in our area. A family that we know that I met in town notified me because I told them I wanted to be notified. If their miniature Jersey ever had a baby calf, female, and for the last 2 years, each of their calves out of this miniature Jersey has been male, much to the dismay of the owners. Well, this year they got a miniature female calf, and they wanted to know if we wanted to buy it. So I don't know. We're gonna toy around with the idea, see what the price is. But if not, if we decide not to buy it, I'm sure we'll be able to find someone in our community area here who will buy it. It's a great, perfect family dairy cow. It's only going to produce enough milk and cheese and butter potentially for a family, and maybe for a neighbor to share.
Yeah, for a family.
So this is something that is, when this comes up, a miniature cow like this. Take it. If you can. So we're gonna play around with the idea and take a look. But we got notified of that tonight. That was really cool. And we put up our video, 5 tips to make great wine. If you haven't checked that out, go to our YouTube channel. If you're into winemaking and you're interested in how to do it, go to our video, watch the 5 tips, folks. If you can just follow those 5 tips, you'll make some pretty good wine. Leading up to this show, before we get into our homestead medicine and healthcare insurance talk, because a lot of people ask us about healthcare. How do we do healthcare? How do we do medicine here on the homestead? Trapping. Big Bear was, I don't know if he's out there or not, but Big Bear over at his channel was talking tonight on trapping. And it's just, that's something I love doing, and I wish I had more time to do it. I've done a lot of trapping in the past, and so I thought I'd go over and ask and talk about that a little bit. And guys, if you ever wanted to trap, it's a really fun thing to do. I can't wait to eventually teach my kids how to do it. You can get a lot out of this. It's just we don't really, most of the animals, the trapping animals, we don't eat them. We'll give them away, or I'll throw them away. But I will not. We have religious reasons on what we eat. However, we have been saving the pelts, and there's not a lot of money in it today. But it used to be. And you can still sell. I know people, there was a guy back in St. Louis who did trapping. In fact, he was friends with the guy who taught me everything I know on trapping. I basically went under his wing and apprenticed with him for a while. And this guy, a third of his yearly income was trapping. So when trapping season started, he was out there on the trap line and pulling in fur like you wouldn't believe. And so there can be money. People do make money, but unless you're doing a lot of it, you're not going to make a lot of money. So I had a story about one time. I think maybe you'll remember the story or not, but one time, because Big Bear was talking about the 330 conibear, and I was telling him that I got caught in my 330 conibear one time. I was out of my trap line, and I was catching beaver out of a creek on the Merrimack River. Remember, I came home and I told you I got caught in my.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah. And so they always told me, be careful about this 330. It's a massive trap. It can break your arm. It can kill you if you get caught around your head. It's killed a lot of animals. It's a killer. And it snapped. One spring snapped. The safety fell off, and one spring snapped, and it closed over my arm. And it wasn't both springs. So if you know what a 330 conibear is, it has 2 springs to it. If 2 springs snap on you, good luck. You're probably if it's on your arm's probably broken, and you're gonna have to have someone help you get it off. But I managed to work my way out of that thing using my trap, because I had my trap setters with me, thank goodness, and I managed to work my way out of that. But it took me like 10 minutes to get out of my 330 conibear. Where one spring had snapped over my arm. And so Big Bear was talking about that and was talking about how dangerous. He said he had a hard time seeing his son working with a 330 conibear because it made him nervous the way he was setting the trap. And they are dangerous. But it took me 10 minutes to get out of that. And rendezvous. So he didn't know what rendezvous were. Rendezvous, if you go, most states have a trapping association. So it's like the NRA, where they work with legislators at your state government and work with lobbyists. And some of them have lobbyists that work within the associations to go to their state level, general assemblies and to help pass trapper-friendly laws, or at least keep non-trapper-friendly laws from passing. And so rendezvous are a place where all these states, so usually a state association for every state holds a rendezvous every year, and it's like a trapper's flea market where you go out there and there's just all kinds of deals. And if you're interested in learning about trapping, this is where to go, because there's lots of old guys out there, lots of good old boys who've been around and doing this for years and years and years, and they teach the young guys coming in, whether you're kids or whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. I mean, there's some old guys who go out there and they're happy to teach you how to do this stuff. And you'll find great prices for your equipment. And it's like a giant flea market. People getting out of the business, and so they sell their stuff really cheap. People wanting to get into the business. Lots of demonstrations, lots of skinning demonstrations. So if you're interested in all that, check out the Rendezvous, your state association. Every state has a trappers association mostly, and every year they put on a rendezvous. So check it out if you're interested. Now that that's out of the way, getting into homestead medicine. Anyway, but back to the trapping. I want to do more of it. Just to add, if you have a chicken coop on your property, you have coons. It's like a magnet. They just come and they circle every night and they look for weaknesses. If you're interested in getting into trapping and you have a chicken coop on your property, you're set, because you'll put up some coon for every year. And so check that out. That's the best way to get started. Homestead medicine. We get a lot of questions about that.
He's looking at me like I'm supposed to respond.
Well, we do. We get a lot of questions about, what do you... All right, so here's how the questions go.
We're kind of just... I don't know. We just kind of go as we go.
Well, so people ask us, here's how the question goes. Do you have health insurance? And we don't have health insurance. And I don't think we will. I mean, ever. I mean, health insurance is expensive.
We haven't had health insurance in 4 years.
4 years. Since we moved off grid.
Yeah.
So I quit my job back in the city. I worked a really good job. Worked in an office. Got paid really good. And quit the job and lost the health insurance when I quit. And so, I mean, when I looked at getting, the Obamacare, looked into that, it was expensive. Even for, I don't have a job. I do have a job. I kind of work part-time, or I work contract. But even if I paid for like the Obamacare or whatever is out there on these networks, it's cheaper to pay the fine. It should be paid. And people say, it should be tripling soon. Well, I don't know what they say about that. But last year, I did my taxes. I totally expected to pay the fine. And when I went through the TurboTax, I just bought the TurboTax thing. And when I bought the TurboTax, I went through it. They asked me a couple questions, asked me if I was a veteran. I said yes. And they said my family didn't have to pay a fine. No fine. And so I didn't have to pay it. So that worked this year. If they even if they pay the fine, I have to pay the fine this year, the fine will probably be around $1,000 out of my taxes, but that's still cheaper than paying, $400 a month, $500 a month for a family of four for health insurance. And I know it's scary. Somebody says it's scary. No health insurance. You just never know. Well, here's the deal. If for some reason my family has an issue and we have to go to the emergency room, there's a catastrophic event and you have to go to the emergency room, they have to take care of you. And at that point, the state will pay for your medical care. It's not going to be great medical care, but the state will pay it. I would rather pay the fine and just forget dealing with that at all and do our own health insurance, which is eating right, doing our own homestead medicine, and saving that money or whatever, than paying that monthly $500 a month. It's just crazy. So that's what we do now. I mean, what do you want? You want to say anything?
There are situations in life where something happens that is unexpected. I don't know, the kid falls down the stairs and breaks his leg, or arm or whatever it is. And I often wonder about a situation like that. And we're constantly telling our almost 4-year-old, to be careful because he's currently not.
Yeah, he's
he's
kind of a daredevil.
He's a risk taker. Like, I feel like he will be a risk taker throughout his life. But are we willing to spend $500 a month, every month of our lives, on the chance that he may break his arm or his leg? I'll choose to cross that bridge when it comes. At this point in our lives, we are in very good health. Neither of us have any health problems. So to think about needing health care to cover something like cancer or diabetes or any number of different, what I consider lifestyle diseases. And I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I think the fact of the matter is that our culture and our lifestyle has brought on these diseases, and the messing with our food chain and the ability to grow our own food and all those things has affected our health. I think that that's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that people don't. It's the increase of knowledge, in these last days. If for some reason I got cancer tomorrow, and this is just me. You can only speak for yourself, right? If I got cancer tomorrow, terminal cancer, or unless it was something that was easily treated, like there's some cancers that are easy treated and they have like a 99% or 95%, but rate where they're going to fix it, no big deal. There's a lot of cancers, different types of cancers out there, but there's cancers out there where it's really, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take my chances with alternative methods, and if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I don't think I'm going to get cancer tomorrow, and we're trying our best to live a pretty healthy lifestyle for the most part. And it's, Go for Green, Live and said it's about life choices. If you're going to, eat junk food, eat McDonald's all your life, chances are you're going to die with diabetes and be overweight, and you're just not going to have a very healthy life. And especially not a very happy end to your life. Yeah,
I think that just living on a homestead itself puts you in a more healthy category.
You're exercising constantly.
I will have to admit to you, and if you've seen my videos, I'm a more heavier woman than some, and there's some weight that I would like to lose. I've gotten soft in the last year with my pitcher pump in the kitchen now. I'm not carrying all the water I used to. So yes, I will say I'm the first person to put my hand up and say I have ways that I need to improve. But I will say that living this life has been better for me than living in the city where fast food was around the corner and easy access. Way out here, we can never get fast food. We can't get takeout. It's just not possible. So a lot of those struggles are just taken off the table. Plus all the exercise, plus growing our own food as much as we can. Those things automatically provide for a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true. Bandana Grandma says the state doesn't pay it, we do, and you're absolutely correct. The problem is people rely on the state to do everything for them instead of only using it in an emergency. I used to work in an ER, and I can tell you that there are certain people who just live in that ER. They're always there. for everything. They stub a toe. They go to the ER. It's their clinic is what it is. It's their doctor. And so it's those people who are, if you're using the system at the time when you really need the system, that's what the system's there for. That's why it was created. Today, it's a crutch for everyone. And I know people can get really hot and heavy and heated about that topic, but that's how I see it. That's why the system was created, and it's being abused today. I don't want to use the system. I don't ever want to use the system, and I'll be happy if I go through my whole life and never use it. But if I have to, if something happens, I will go to it if there's no other choice. Someone asked, I'm a veteran, can't you go to the VA? Yes, I am a veteran, and I'm in the process of actually getting back in with the VA. I've been to the VA before. In fact, I get a disability check for the rest of my life because I hurt my ankle jumping out of the helicopter one time. But I got to go back and get. That was the VA in St. Louis. I have to get the VA back here and connect with the clinic that's here. So. I do that, but I'm looking out for my wife and my kids, and just in case there's ever an eventual thing that I need to use. Speaking of that, we have gone to clinics in town. We found a clinic that's a cash clinic. It's a doctor and we've gone to him twice, I think, right? Didn't we go to him twice?
Yeah, there was one time I thought our baby had an ear infection, and it's just for my peace of mind, I'm glad that we went. He was checked out. His ears were fine. Thank goodness. He was entirely breastfed, and breastfed babies tend to not get ear infections. However, he was just acting a little bit more fussy than normal. And anyway, so we took him. He was teething, which, is the other.
And he's Caleb.
Yeah.
But it's a pay for cash.
I think we paid like $100 for a visit is what we did.
Right.
Which sounds like a lot of money, but honestly, we've only been twice. Once with Caleb and once with Joshua in the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, so it was just something we needed to do, and it was worth doing it. And we know that he's there in case something ever comes up. So if something's not an emergency, but we just want to have the peace of mind to go to a doctor, he would be the doctor we go to, and it's cash. It's an appointment. It's going to be about $100, and he'll be able to tell you what to do from there. And he has the ability to write prescriptions. He's a regular doctor. He's just a cash doctor. He doesn't take insurance. And there are lots of people who use his services. He actually has, I believe, 3 different clinics now. He's expanded. Because so many people are are not opposed to using cash doctors rather than insurance. They don't want to use insurance, and so we've been there twice. It's worth it. Worth it. What are your thoughts on vaccinations? We don't vaccinate, and just for the reason we talked. I think it was a week or two ago, where mumps are going around our area right now, and the word on the street is from healthcare professionals in the area is that every single one of these mumps cases, or close to every single one of these mumps cases, are from a kid who was vaccinated. The vaccines don't work, and there's so much evidence that says that they cause a lot of issues with young children, and so we don't do vaccines. And our kids are surviving fine. We have lots of families around here who don't vaccinate their kids, lots of people, and their kids are all fine. And so we're just we don't do the vaccines. We do the pay for cash medicine. We do lots of natural medicine. Diabetes type A runs in my family, and my oldest so far is probably going to miss that, I think, because it's hereditary. My father has it, and we're really hoping that my youngest son doesn't get it. And we're trying to regulate his diet and give him good things to eat. And he doesn't get fed fast food like most of the kids today. He doesn't eat a lot of candy like most of the kids today. He doesn't have a lot of sugar in his diet like most of the kids today. I don't even think he likes soda.
No, he doesn't like soda.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy for a kid today. So I'm hoping that by regulating his diet and giving him good things to eat, he's going to be okay. He's not going to have the hereditary line of diabetes will end with my kids' generation in our family. So
have we reached our 40s yet? That's a touchy subject because Zach is turning 40 next month. I really truly believe that you don't have to get to 40 and lose your health. Like, why does that have to be? You know, I think that you stay active. I look at my parents and they're in their 70s. Almost 70. And they're both active. My dad is in excellent health. He has a few little things, but I mean, he keeps moving, and I refuse to believe that life has to end when you get old, that you have to sit in your chair. And
Wheat Tree Bonsai says, Zach, age is a frame of mind. I just wish I could be 23 again. I just want to stay 23 forever. I can tell I'm slowing down. You know, I can't do the things I used to be able to do anymore.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're in poor health.
I know. It's just you slow down. You just don't go as fast as you used to. Anyway, my father, who has type A diabetes, he's in his late 60s, and he has type A diabetes. And if you ask anyone in the healthcare industry who knows, type A's don't live that long. And so it's because he doesn't slow down. He still works as an HVAC. He owns his own HVAC business. And he's constantly lifting air conditioners in and out of his truck all day in his late 60s. And he has type A diabetes. And so much so that has bewildered so many.
Type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, type A. Type A diabetes. It can be called type 1 or type A, either way. Type A, type B diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes. It goes either way. Trust me, I lived with it. I lived with it because my dad had it his whole life. So anyway, someone with type A or type 1 diabetes, doesn't live that long. So much so that medical people have come to him and have signed him up for free research and all kinds of things because they don't understand why he's still alive. Anyway, he got it when he was a juvenile. He's been on it. He's had type 1 diabetes since he was a kid. And people know if you've had that, you don't live that long. But he's up in his 60s, and it's because he moves a lot. He's always exercising. And so it's just the American lifestyle. I think it's killing most of the people in our country. We're fat, we're lazy, we don't do anything, and we just eat crap. There you go. It also helps, I think, to research all of these different natural medicines, and not only eat all the things you're eating out there, but walking through your garden and eating some of these vegetables that you're growing, but also learn these natural medicines. Like we did a video on, it's hard to call things medicine without getting in trouble with the FDA, but the jewelweed, I picked some more of it this week because we're sending some out to our patrons. Jewelweed is a great way to treat poison ivy rather than going to the store and buying some chemical to put on your skin. Things like that. We have a medical professional who lives down the street, and his wife is very knowledgeable in a lot of natural remedies. And, that's our go-to. If something happens or we have a question, that's our medicine insurance, folks, is having a resource like that we can go to and be like, hey, how would you treat this symptom? What would you do for that? What would you do for this? Yeah, that's fine. But that's the people we go to when we have a question, and it's a great resource, and it's worth for other people to have a resource like that on hand that you can go to. You wanted to talk about your?
Well, her husband is a nurse, and I actually cut my hand really, really bad in the spring. I mean, it was bad. And I was doing dishes, and a broken glass was in the sink, and I didn't know it. And I cut my hand, and I looked at the wound. I pulled my hand out, and I looked at the wound, and I looked all the way down, almost to the bone. And I said, Zach, I think we need to do something, because, it was bad. Anyway, we went to the nurse and he looked at it and he said, well, normally I'd send you to the hospital for this. I think you need to go to the hospital. But Zach and I didn't want to go to the hospital. We didn't want to pay what they would charge us. And he was willing to sew it up for me. So he did without any anesthesia.
You had vodka.
Yeah, but I really don't think it kicked
It kicked in way too late.
It kicked in until he was like most of the way done.
Had to help her down the stairs.
But I was grateful for that. And he came over periodically and checked me and changed the dressing. And I basically couldn't use my hand for almost 3 weeks, which was really tough for me. But I'm so glad that he was able to do that for me. It kept us out of the hospital.
Yeah, and basically what it came down to was a trade. He's a homesteader, and I basically traded him some brush hog work for the sutures. So he sutured my wife's hand, and I brush hogged his field, with my tractor. And that's how it's supposed to work, folks, is that, someone, you have a doctor in town, and you trade, and you send him home with some sugar beets or whatever, it's just that kind of thing. That's how you utilize a resource like that. And that's what we did. So, there's just, that's the question. Eventually we'll do a video just on this topic, and we're kind of doing one tonight, but another video on this topic. That's our health insurance. We don't have health insurance. We are our own doctors. We are our own medicine. We research our own medicine, and we get by. And
someone said no dishes for 3 weeks. Well, I actually did them with one hand.
She's amazing, folks. She's amazing.
Well, they have to be done. So I did them with one hand. Joshua helped me out a little bit.
Someone asked about, do we use essential oils?
Yeah, we do. We do.
I use essential oils for my allergies.
I don't think that they're like this end all of end all like some people make them out to be. I think that there's a purpose for them, and I use them, especially lavender a lot for bug bites and stings, things like that. I love tea tree for any kind of skin condition, things like that. I haven't had much success with the On Guard or the Thieves kind of
we went to St. Louis at one time, and we were on guard the whole time. And
but the kids got sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you remember the kids came home? It's like every time. I don't know. I'm not a believer. I think that there's a lot of other things out there like colloidal silver, which I have been very successful with in using for flu and colds and things like that.
Yeah, colloidal silver is really good. Guys, look up Nixall. 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 And despite what they don't say this on their website, but you can drink it. So there is someone in the area here that knows the owners. It's from Nixall, Missouri, so it's not that far. It's in the Ozarks. Nixall. Check it out. Research this. This is, from what I understand, Nixall was created when they take water and they squish titanium together in the water, and the water is changed on a molecular level a certain way, and it kills all bacteria, all viruses. It's just amazing, supposedly. And I'm looking into this, and I'm trying to get back in touch with the company because I have some questions. We make our own colloidal silver here on the Homestead, no doubt about it. And we've done videos on that. But I'm really interested in looking at Nixall. If you're interested, it's almost like a cure-all for everything. It's amazing some of the stuff they found out about this. They use it for their animals, for medicine, for their animals, treatments. Nixall, check this out, see what you think, and we'll talk about this at a later date. But I'm really interested in the Nixall and researching this some more. I use doTERRA oils. We have an allergy blend that we sell on our website, and it works for me about 90% of the time. I just basically take this thing off and put it on the back of my neck and put a little bit a dab of this other oil. It's called the Breathe oil on my nose, and usually within seconds it goes away or relieves itself. I did it today, and usually when I get if I don't do it, I'm sneezing, a good 24 hours.
That's horrible.
It's horrible. Nixall. It's Nixall. 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 From Nixon, Missouri. Someone was asking about the spelling. But anyway, yeah, so I use our own allergy blend. It's for sale on the website. If you're interested, you can look it up. We've sold a few of them, but that little allergy blend works awesome. So there's that. Got a couple other things before we get to the chat room. Want to get through some stuff. Achocha and squash seeds. So some of our patrons, there's John Wayne. Some of our patrons have been sending in some pictures of their achochas and the squash seeds that we sent them. And so I wanted to show this on here. So here's the achochas right here that one of our patrons grew the seeds. We sent them, and I think we're sold out right now, folks. We sold all of our achocha seeds. They're all gone. We've been selling them all year, and I'm about ready to go out and harvest this year's batch. They're perfect to harvest right now and start saving seeds. And so there's the achochas picture. You can check those out. So they grew great. Ours just grew amazingly. Every year it gets better, it seems like. And so we're going to be doing a video on that soon. I got one bad review this year on the website. Someone said they couldn't get their achochas to grow, or they got the vines to grow, but there was no fruit on them, and how bad of a seed person I am. And it was really nasty review that they left on the website. And I don't know what's wrong with them, but my achochas are growing great. And this is some pictures that were sent in by one of our patrons, and they're growing great. And every year I save my seeds, and I grow the same achocha cucumbers over and over again. And I really like those. Here's some squash sent in by one of the patrons, pictures of some squash. This is the squash we just did a video on recently in one of the Homestead episodes. And we got a first place blue ribbon out of this squash, and we canned it. And we canned this squash, and I got a bunch of them growing out in the garden again this year. These are just delicious.
It'll get much bigger than this picture.
Yeah. So the one where she's got her hand next to, that's tiny. The one where she's got her foot next to it, that's about right. Maybe it'll get bigger than that still.
It'll get bigger.
Yeah, it'll get bigger. But
it'll turn orange.
Yeah, it'll turn almost like a yellowish orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's some good pictures. So we will have these squash for sale, first place, blue ribbon seeds for sale on our website in the next week or so. So be looking out for those. Let's see, what else did I have here in my stack of stuff? So there was this fall's coming, and when people are thinking about firewood, and I wanted to put this up and see what you thought. This is this wood splitter that people use for kindling. I thought this was kind of neat. Basically what you do, you bolt it to like a big tree stump or somewhere sturdy. You bolt it down, screw it down, and then you put your wood in there, and then you hammer it in, and it creates your kindling for you. And I like the idea. Right now I've been using just an axe, and I don't like really using the little hatchet to make kindling. But this is kind of a neat idea if you're interested in a great way to make kindling. And they always show a picture of a girl doing it. So I guess that's the message is it's so easy a girl can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of thing.
I don't split firewood.
She does not split firewood, folks.
I'm just going to be honest. That's not in my job description.
That's my job. So, but they always put a picture of a girl in there. So, it's so easy a girl can do it. And you can do it too. That's what they say. So there it is. And then there's another picture here on Amazon. It goes for like $100. So $89.90. Free shipping on Amazon. I wonder how sturdy it is. I wonder if it would last. Because here on the Homestead, we put things through the ringer. We put things, sometimes literally, we put things through the ringer. But we test them out, and sometimes things just don't work out the way people say it does. And interesting. I'll let you be. You guys can decide. What else? What else do we got here? And also links to all of these are in the description below of the video. The other thing I wanted to look at was these bunk beds, and get Jamie's opinion on them. This bunk bed cot. So what do you think about that for a tent?
Yeah, I've seen those a lot.
It's fall weather. People are going camping.
Those are expensive. Go. I've looked at those. They're
What do they
like
cost?
they're like between $300 and $400.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just some aluminum with some canvas.
Yeah, for the whole set, it's between $300 and $400. I know, because I looked at those and I thought that would be awesome for the kids. You know, saves room in the tent, gets them up off the ground.
That's just crazy.
But I actually purchased cots for our camping this year. Maybe not so much for the kids because they're fine on the floor, but for me, I really honestly am tired of leaning over.
I thought we had the what did you use last year? I forgot what it's called.
What do you mean?
It's the thing that folds out. What?
Thing that folds out?
That bed that folds out. That's what we use for camping.
Oh, it was the futon. No, I'm talking about for the kids.
Oh.
We just put them on the ground.
Oh, so you had the kids have cots this year?
Yeah, because honestly, I think cots are awesome just for getting the bed off the ground, but also you can store your stuff underneath. And I'm so tired of tripping over. I mean, we camp for more than a week at a time, and I'm so tired of tripping over the stuff in the tent. So to be able to store things under is going to be really nice.
Yeah, that's expensive. $400 for that, $300 to $400. I just can't imagine it'd be that expensive.
They're cool though.
Yeah, it looks neat. Anyway, I saw that on again, links in the description below. Good home design. Yeah, goodhomedesign.com was the website.
Those things are everywhere. The most popular picture you'll see is bright green.
Bright green, huh?
Bright green for kids.
Yeah. But again, links in the description below. You can find it. I'm sure they're selling it there too. Everyone's trying to make a buck. So that's probably where you'll find it. Let's see. What else do we got here in the stack of stuff? I guess we'll go to the chat room before we end up doing the last few things. If you have a question and you want to have it answered, the best way to have it answered, guys, is to put it in all caps, and we will see it. So if you have a question, we'll go ahead and get to those now. What do you guys do for health insurance? Is everyone basically on Obamacare? I mean, do you still have health insurance through your work? I just see it as way too expensive and just, not practical anymore. Health insurance, if they got the government out of all of it, I would like to see Obamacare dismantled, but I worry a little bit about Trump because he always says, I'm going to replace it with something better. Well, he never really says what better is. And I think if you want to make healthcare better, you get the government completely out of it and let the free market take over. And then you'll have companies rise and fall based on the quality of their service and the pricing of their service. And that's where I see it better. So Deep South Homestead says none. Good for you guys.
I think everyone has to make their own choice for themselves. It's just whatever, it's just like anything, we can't judge someone for making a different decision than we do, and we would hope that others wouldn't judge us for making the decision we do.
Yeah, you got to make your own choices in life, and what I really hate is when someone comes in and tells me I have to do this or I have to do that, and that's what government is about today. And I don't want the government to tell me what I have to do, and so if I can get away with it as long as I can, I will. Someone says Obamacare, not too many doctors will take it now. Due to that, can hardly get their money. Yeah, Obamacare is going to collapse anyway, I think. Home Place Journal says no health insurance, just don't make enough to pay health insurance. I'm with you. I don't make enough either. No health insurance, Vern says. So Hillary, now I don't think Hillary's going to have better health insurance. I think Hillary's just going to stay with Obamacare, and it's going to continue to go down the tubes, and the government will keep paying for it to keep it from, destroying it. So they'll just use taxpayer money to keep it afloat. But what I think the best way you're going to get the best health insurance in this country is get government out of health insurance, health care, because everything government touches it basically implodes. You want to ruin something quick? Let government get involved. So get the government out of it, and then I think you'll see the healthcare industry get better based on the quality of care and the price that you pay. And you won't be paying $200 for, a Q-tip anymore at the hospital. Health insurance, just a nasty VA. I was at the VA. I don't know. It's just I don't have an opinion on it. Here I haven't really seen a lot of it yet. I don't know what Tim thinks about the VA. I can't remember if he said he liked it or didn't.
I thought he said it was fine. He thought it was better than he thought it would be.
But maybe he'll comment at the end of the videos. Hey, folks, if you're watching the video and you like these videos, you like us coming to you guys on Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Central, please do us a favor real quick and give us a thumbs up, Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for us right now. We really appreciate that. That really helps us out and lets YouTube know we're doing something right if people enjoy our videos. So go ahead and give us a big thumbs up on the video. I know the VA leaves much to be desired, mostly in a lot of places. And so I know a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people are talking about some of these things. I'll just go ahead and let you know. Last week I gave you some wrong information. HR 2903, I think I said HR 2309, could pass before the end of the year. That is the bill in Congress to legalize hobby distillation. Right now, I don't care what state you live in, it is illegal for you to distill your own alcohol, even if it's for your own personal consumption. Now, a few states like Missouri and others, it is legal to distill for your own personal consumption. However, federal law trumps state law, and it is a federal crime for you to distill for your own personal consumption on your homestead. What HR 2903 would allow you to do is, if you're a married couple of two, to go ahead and distill up to 48 gallons per year for your own personal consumption. And so I would really like that to pass. Being able to distill your own alcohol would provide a lot of benefits for medicinal use. I mean, obviously for people's personal consumption of their own spirits. But for being able to make their own medicines, tinctures, things like that, making their own distilled water for their solar battery banks, if you have batteries, lead acid batteries, things like that. And so I would really like it if HR 2309 could pass. You can write your, elected representatives, like that'll do any good anyway, let's be honest. But just letting you know that it is in Congress and it does have majority support in the House and Senate. And it's got it's got over 200 co-sponsors now. So there's a good chance it could pass before the end of the legislative session, before Congress ends in January. That would benefit a lot of homesteads, guys, if we could do our own home distillation. And so Clawhammer Supply is going to be giving us a new still, their stainless steel still. We're going to be doing videos on that and obviously doing some demonstrations with it, unboxing with it. We have our own federal fuel permit here on the homestead that we applied for because in Arkansas it is illegal for the state level to have a still unless you have permission from the proper authorities. Well, we have permission from the ATF. It's the TTB, I believe, and we have a federal permit. We have a federal fuel permit that allows us to keep that still. So anyway, I gave the wrong number out last week, and so the number is HR 2903. Have you looked into pemmican? I'm assuming you're talking about beef jerky. Stravale says, have you looked into pemmican? I've never made pemmican. I don't know. It's like beef jerky, right? I don't even know what that is, I guess. I think it's beef jerky. Sheila McCrae says, I have 2 EpiPens that are about 7 years old. Is it okay to use them? We have a EpiPen that's about that old, don't we?
We do, and that's a good question if anyone knows. I've never checked into it.
If I had to use it, I would. But EpiPens, last I heard, EpiPens are amazingly expensive right now. So
We've never had to use one, but Zach had one and then a refill, so we have 2.
Oh, we have 2, yeah.
And
I'm highly allergic to shellfish.
But we're very careful about that. So, we just don't eat that stuff. And we've never had to use them.
Someone said, do you think that H.R. 2903 will pass because of all the money government makes off booze? Well, here's the deal. The TPB, which is the Bureau ATF, is supporting this bill because they are sick and tired of going after all you small brewers out there, and they don't want to do it anymore. So they'd rather get all that off their plate and go after the big boys out there who are distilling. In fact, I think they'd like to get distilling off their plate entirely anyway. It's just not a thing that they deal with anymore. So they would like to, that they're supporting it. The government is supporting it. So far, the agency that governs this is supporting the passage of this bill to allow home distillers.
So Rain Country says pemmican is dried meat and fruit pulverized and mixed with fat. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
What is it?
Dried meat and fruit. I'm being a little sarcastic, but, I will honestly try anything. Zach, he is adamant that you do not mix anything sweet with your meat.
Savory. So I love the savory foods. I love the sweet foods. But you do not dare mix the two.
He's really adamant about this, guys. That is something that...
It's like crossing the streams. You just don't do it.
Yeah. So I can't imagine us making that here. I think Zach would throw up.
If I have meat, it better have one thing on it only. Salt. That's it. Done. Popcorn, same way. I went to Germany and I was in the military.
No, salt and spices. We do our own rub.
Okay, yeah, we do our own rub. But it's got to have salt on it. I'm not putting anything sweet on it. Let's see. What was I going to say? I was in the military. I was in the infantry. I went to Germany, and I went to my first German movie theater. I think I saw all of Star Wars, the first new movie that came out. And they had sugar on the popcorn. I was like, what in the world? I went back and I'm like, do you guys have anything with salt on it? And they said, no. All the popcorn in Germany, in movie theaters in Germany, is sugar. And I like caramel corn, but I don't like sugar on my popcorn. And they were putting butter on it.
I know.
This is wrong.
It's a hard pill for him to swallow that some people actually like this stuff. But no, he'll never eat any kind of fruit with.
TR Writer says they will make you buy a license to produce your alcohol. No, they won't. This will not allow you to have a license to make your alcohol. If this bill passes, you won't need a license to buy your alcohol. Right now, you need a license to produce your own alcohol or to produce your own spirits. It is legal right now, according to the federal government, to produce your own beer and wine in your household. But it is not illegal. It's not legal anywhere in the United States, federally, to produce your own spirits. You have to have a license. This bill, if passed, would do away with allowing you to have a license to produce your own distilled spirits. Let's see. I know there was something else on there I saw, and I can't remember what it was. I was going to respond to.
There was a question about the miniature cow. We're just going to learn. Like anything that we've done when we're homesteading, we haven't owned a cow before. So we're just
they were asking about how tall it was.
Figure it out because we don't know.
They want to know how how miniature is miniature.
We don't know, but we're just going to learn as we go. And at this point, we've never done cattle before. We've kind of drug our feet with it, honestly, and it's mostly been me just because I've had so much on my plate and the kids are little, and it's too much, has been too much for me to take on another thing. But since our oldest is turning 10 this year and it's a miniature, I feel like it's something that he can participate in, to be able to take on another chore with a milking, maybe do one milking, and either Zach or I will do the other one, however it goes. But I'm getting to the point now where I would really love to have cream, fresh raw cream, especially to make butter and cheese. Zach and the boys love milk. I'm not such a milk drinker, but I do love to have butter and cheese. And it's one of those things that I think about a lot because the butter is honestly the only cooking fat that we would be able to produce on our homestead. We can't produce coconut oil, and that's my favorite oil. We can't produce olive oil. Butter is really the only thing that we can produce other than butchering a cow. But again, we'd need a cow to butcher to collect the beef fat from that for cooking. We could do that. So, yeah, I'm kind of leaning more strongly towards getting a milk cow and kind of biting my fingers at the same time because I know it's a lot to take on. And
our boy, he's almost 10. He'll be a lot better. He can deal with this. And they say these miniature jerseys are really good to use for kids. So they're kid friendly. So I don't know. We're gonna have to think about it. I'll let you know what we come up with. But I think it'd be exciting to get a milk cow. So we've been talking about it since we moved here. So anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. We got some giveaways, remember, coming up soon. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. Visit our website at AmericanHomestead.com. You can subscribe to all of our giveaways by going to our contact page and putting giveaway, one word, in the subject line and sending me an email. We're giving away the Suwaki Light, the Angel Fire ammo, 5.56 ammo, and coming up eventually at some point, some amazing prizes, even some beehives. So make sure you register for the giveaways. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Had a great time tonight. Take care. See you next time on the Homestead.